Hey y'all, and welcome to Politibrawl. My name is Brian, and Donald Trump brings up Nigel Farage onto the center stage with him at a Trump rally in Arizona. Farage is perhaps the last great hope for Great Britain, and he gives a fantastic speech. And before we go, I want to remind y'all, we are sponsored by Colonial Metals Group here on Politibrawl. These people, these experts fundamentally understand how to protect your wealth against Biden inflation. Now, let's go.
A friend of mine, a lot of people say one of the most powerful men in Europe, Nigel Farage. Come on up, Nigel. He's a very non-controversial person, too, right? That's what we like. Come on, Nigel. He's very shy.
Thank you.
Oh, I'm non-controversial and shy compared to you. I got to say, 4 years ago, I was honoured to come to America to bring the Brexit message, the message that you can beat the establishment. And that is what Donald Trump did. He beat the pollsters, he beat the media, he beat all the predictions. And here's the worst bit, they've never forgiven him for it. They've never, ever forgiven him. They have spent 4 years trying to delegitimize him. 4 years of the Russia hoax. 4 years of the false impeachment. Most human beings under that barrage would have given up. This is the single most resilient and bravest person I have ever met in my life.
Thank you very much.
And when you vote next week, you are not just voting for who the President of the United States of America is, vital though that question may be. You are voting for the leader of the free world. You are voting for the only current leader in the free world who has got the guts to stand up and fight for the nation state, to fight for patriotism, to fight against globalism. You'll be voting for the only leader in the Western world with the real courage to stand up to the Chinese Communist Party. You'll be voting for decency, plain speaking, and a man who in 4 years hasn't just cut your taxes, hasn't just improved the economy, but a man who right now is bringing Israel together with Arab nations in a way that nobody ever believed was possible. And that's what he's done, and I wish you Godspeed. I really do.
Wow, thank you. Oh. Thank you, Nigel. That's something. Wow, I'm glad I called him up.
Y'all, when you don a British accent, I swear your IQ goes up about 20 points. Nigel, I know they don't do baseball in Europe, and they definitely don't do it in Great Britain. They do cricket, different game entirely. But Nigel Farage came to America and just hit home run after home run. Wow. That was perhaps the greatest endorsement of Trump I've ever heard or seen before. And he's right on every single topic, from the Russia hoax that the media continue to perpetrate on the American people in an attempt to lie to you about Trump's deeds and Trump's workings with Russians, and had nothing to do with the actual election. If you actually want the truth of the matter, it's this. Russia did interfere in the 2016 election. They had bot farms. They had troll farms. And they basically just pumped out meme after meme after meme onto the internet and hoped that something stuck. That was pretty much the depth of their ability, which is pretty lame and pretty tame compared to what we do when other people's elections. Don't look up what the CIA did in Australia. So ultimately, Nigel Farage, who this guy is, he is the head of the UKIP party. And by the way, if you're a fan of Sargon of Akkad, the UKIP party should trigger a couple of memories of you. And Nigel Farage is sounding the alarm in Great Britain. They have an immigration problem. which closer to reality is they have a population problem. Y'all, times are rough. Record inflation is still not under control. We have a president who doesn't know what planet he's on, and the Federal Reserve continues to make dumb decision after dumb decision after dumb decision. You can gamble on Wall Street all you want, but if you want to diversify and protect your wealth, you need to look into my friends over at Colonial Metals Group. These amazing experts understand how to keep your wealth safe and protected from the volatility of our current market. And there's even a great deal for first-time accounts. Free gold and silver-backed IRA accounts, insurance on whatever precious metals you happen to buy for 5 years, up to $7,500 worth of silver, and a nice safe for you to keep all this good stuff in. So go take a look at their website, link in the description below, or call the phone number below so you can talk personally to Paul Stone, CEO, and his amazing team of experts to protect your wealth today. The United States faces a similar fate. As a matter of fact, pretty much all the developed countries, from Japan to Korea to China, all the way into Europe and the United States. What we've noticed happen is once you develop as a nation, people stop having a whole bunch of kids. The problem with that scenario is that once the population tapers off and arguably collapses, South Korea, Japan, and China are facing population collapse. Once you reach that point, your economy stagnates. You're not able to loan out money, you're not able to borrow as much as you once did, and that means your debt is going to increase and your problems are going to mount. We're seeing that here in the United States. What Nigel Farage has stood for, he said, no more immigration, this is destroying our country. And he's right. There's a line in the sand. There's a line that if you cross it, you become someone truly despicable. And so I'm going to define the line right here. It is okay for you to pass on your genetics. There, that's the line. Black genetics deserve to be preserved. Indian genetics deserve to be preserved. Chinese, Korean, all different kinds of European. Everyone brings something unique to the table. It's what makes the world flavorful, beautiful. But when you import a whole bunch of people, you end up diluting your own genetic pool. I think that is a loss that not a lot of people truly understand. And again, this is the line. You don't tap dance on the other side and say, my genes are better than your genes. That's how you get groypers. All right? That's how you get funny mustache men. It is okay to have a certain skin color. It is okay for you to pass on your heritage and your culture. Those are things that ground you and bind you together. And Nigel Farage, is, who was pretty much the spearhead of Brexit, getting them out of the EU, was fundamentally understood that the British people deserve to be preserved. I believe there are multiple nations that deserve to have this mentality. Again, there is a line. Don't cross it. Donald Trump hasn't crossed it, okay? Nigel Farage hasn't crossed it. They are holding the line between the evils of what this ideology can lead to, and that's where we must stand. You deserve to have a genetic history. You deserve to have your race and culture preserved. It's that simple, and it goes across the board. And Nigel Farage is out there screaming that there's a problem in Britain, that they're importing too many people that don't have British ancestry. This is a problem of economy, this is a problem of birth rates, and ultimately it's a problem of culture. So ask yourself in the comments below, what part of your culture do you think deserves to be preserved? That's where the line is, and we must hold it, and hold on to it strong. Multiple cultures exist, not just multiple, hundreds of cultures and racial mixes happen around the world. It's a beautiful thing to see, and that's why I want it preserved. That's why I love going to Epcot, in a sense. I love seeing different little parts of the world. I've traveled to multiple countries, which is unusual for an American, mainly because the states in of themselves are their own countries. I've been across the states, I've been across the world. Those places that I visited deserve to be preserved. Germany, Poland deserve to be preserved, Australia deserves to be preserved, and the United States deserves to be preserved. We are a wonderful nation of immigrants here. We've made something very unique. Let's preserve what we've built. Our grandchildren and our children deserve it. Folks, my name is Brian. Hope you enjoyed this segment here on Politibrawl. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Catch you on the next one, and until then, y'all have a good one.